Hello everyone, welcome back. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about router. In our previous session, we already discussed about switch and we already discussed about what is the use of switch and how to use the switch and what is the function of switch. And in this video, we are going to learn about router and what is router and what is the purpose of router and how it works. Okay, and what is the difference between switch and router. Okay, so first of all, router is a layer 3 device. Router is a layer 3 device. As per the OSI layers, it is layer 3 device. As per the OSI layers, in OSI layers we have 7 layers, right? Application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. So from bottom to top, uh, third layer is network layer. So routers work at layer 3. Remember this point, very, very important. Switch is a layer 2 device. Remember this point. We already completed OSI layers, right? If you have any doubt in OSI layers, please watch OSI layers video. So router is a layer 3 device and switch is a layer 2 device. And router is used to connect multiple networks. To connect multiple networks. To connect multiple networks. To connect multiple networks means in our last session, we have created two LANs, right? We have created two LANs. One is HR LAN, one is IT LAN. See here, this is our HR LAN and this is our IT LAN. HR LAN is 192.168.1.0 network and IT LAN is 192.168.2.0 network. Both are different networks. These two cannot communicate each other automatically. Even if you connect one cable from this switch to this switch, no use. So here, if you want to communicate from HR department to IT department or IT department to HR department, we should use router. Without router, we cannot communicate from one network to another network. This is the main purpose of router. The router main purpose is to connect multiple networks. To connect multiple networks. To connect multiple networks. The main function of router is to forward packets from one network to another network. This is the main function. The router main function is to forward packets from one network to another network. Why router is a layer 3 device? Router is a layer 3 device. Why it is layer 3 device? Because a router forwards packets based on the IP address. IP address is a layer 3 protocol, right? IP is a layer 3 protocol. Remember this point. IP is layer 3 protocol. MAC is layer 2 protocol. Based on IP address, right? Router forwards packets based on IP address. That's why router is considered as layer 3 protocol, layer 3 device. That's why router is considered as layer 3 device. Router forwards frames, switch forwards frames based on MAC address. MAC is a layer 3 protocol, right? So that's why the switch is considered as layer 2 device. Remember this point. Switch is layer 2 device and router is layer 3 device. Because of switch forwards frames based on the L2 address. L2 address means MAC address. Remember this point. And router forwards packets based on L3 address. L3 address means IP address. These points are very, very important. You should keep in your mind. Don't forget these 2 points. So what is the difference between router and switch? The first difference is router is a layer 3 device, switch is a layer 2 device. Why these two devices are considered like that? Router is a layer 3 device. Okay, why router is layer 3 device? Because the router main function is what? The router main function is to forward packets from one network to another network. Right? This is the main function. This is the main purpose of router. So how it will forward packets? That is the important. Right? How it will forward packets? It will forward packets based on the IP address. That's why it is considered as a layer 3 device. And a switch, we already discussed in our last session. The switch is a layer 2 device. Why? Because switch forwards frames based on the MAC address only. Switch will never check the IP information. Remember this point. So in our last session, here we already discussed, right? Here we have 192.168.1.1 and 192.168.1.2. Whenever PC1 sends packet to 192.168.1.2, it sends packet to switch. The switch forward that frame based on the MAC address only. Switch will never check the IP information. Because the switch maintain the MAC address table, the first it will check the MAC address table, is there any MAC address or not, destination MAC address. If there is a destination MAC address, it will forward to the destination PC. If there is no destination MAC address in the MAC address table, it will simply flood to all devices, right? This is the switch function, right? This is the main difference between router and switch. Remember this point. Keep in mind. Very, very important in the interview. The router main purpose is what? The router main purpose is to connect multiple networks. Now we'll discuss router external components. What are the external components? Router external components. Router external components. External components means outside interfaces. So if you see the router, so router like a device, it is a hardware device, and it has some interfaces. Okay, some interfaces means ports, network ports, and this is the router, and it has one power socket to connect power cable, and one on off switch, and there are some interfaces, serial interfaces means serial ports, and the serial ports may have one or two, depends on router model number, but nowadays we are not using serial ports. Okay, don't think about the serial ports, just leave it. These serial ports not important nowadays. And we have some fast ethernet, some ethernet interfaces. Okay, ethernet interfaces, and one external module also, external slat, empty slat. Now we will discuss about these interfaces. So if you want to see here, the router, this is router, see here, this is power socket to connect the power cable. This is the power socket. This is on off switch, and it has some interfaces. See here, FE, it's showing FE, right? FE means fast ethernet. FE means fast ethernet. See, FE 0/1, FE 0/0. These are the interfaces, network ports are called interfaces. And one interface is the console. One is the console, and FE means fast ethernet, LAN interface, like network interface, and FE 0/0, FE 0/1, and one console and one auxiliary. one console, one auxiliary. This is router backside. What is the router model number here? Cisco 1841. This is the Cisco router model number. In the Cisco we have many models. Okay, I will tell you some model numbers, okay, later. Right, so this is router. See here, like this. Same switch. Here see, this is the power socket and on-off switch and ports. And here see here, these two are empty, right? Empty slats here. Here we will connect to serial interfaces here. You can remove these slats, okay? You can remove one, you can insert empty slats. If you want to increase, if you want to connect more interfaces, so here we will connect. Like in our PC, we have some empty slats, right? If you want to upgrade memory, so we have some extra like empty slats are there, right? Like this here also we have some external modules are there. You can connect here interfaces. Empty slats are there. Here you can connect your ports. Okay, this is router 1841. Now we will discuss about each interface. What is the purpose of these interfaces? And one console port, right here. This is console, and these are fast. FE means fast Ethernet 0x0. This is fast Ethernet 0x1, and this is fast Ethernet 0x2. What is FE? What is fast Ethernet? So here we have different types of interfaces. Interfaces means like it's only one interface, that is Ethernet interface, right? Like a NIC port, NIC. We already discussed about this. NIC means network interface card. Okay, so here we have a okay, these names are based on the speed. Okay, Ethernet means only 10 Mbps supports, and fast Ethernet means it supports up to 100 Mbps, and gigabit Ethernet interface means it supports up to 1000 Mbps, and 10 gigabit Ethernet 10 gigabit Ethernet supports up to 10,000 Mbps. Based on the speeds, ports are classified like this: Ethernet, fast Ethernet, Giga Ethernet, and 10 Giga Ethernet. Nowadays, we are using only Giga Ethernet and 10 Giga Ethernet. We are not using Ethernet and fast Ethernet. So some routers can have fast Ethernet or Ethernet or Gigabit and 10 gigabit. The ports are looking same. There is no any difference, but the speed is only difference. These all interfaces looks like same. The only speed here. So based on the speed, names are different like this: Ethernet, fast Ethernet, Gigabit Ethernet, 10 Gigabit Ethernet. So for 1841 series, for this series, we have fast Ethernet. FE means fast Ethernet. What is the 0x0? 0x0 is the port ID. 0x0 is the port ID. The first zero is slat number, and second zero is interface number. Sometimes we can have more than one slat. Slat 1, slat 2, slat 3, like that. Slat number, another one interface number. FE 0x1, FE 0x2. I will tell you what is the use of this fast Ethernet interfaces. And these are the serial interfaces: serial 0x0, serial 0x1, serial. But nowadays we are not using these interfaces. Just leave it. Okay, no need to discuss about these interfaces. Just we will discuss about these interfaces and one console interface. The console interface is very, very important. The console is a console port. Okay, it is a management port. It is management port. It is management port. The management port purpose is to manage this device. Means we can log in into this router and we can configure our configurations like IP address, routing protocols like that. This is only for management purpose, just only for management. We cannot transfer data through this port, through console port. Next, fast Ethernet 0 by 0, fast Ethernet 0 by 1, fast Ethernet 0 by 2. These are the data interfaces. Data interfaces means actual data passes through these interfaces. Passes through these interfaces. Here I have three interfaces, right? FE 0 by 0, FE 0 by 1, FE 0 by 2. So here one interface can be connected to one LAN and another interface can be connected to another LAN and one interface can be connected to internet. Okay, now see here. I have two departments, right? HR department and a marketing IT department. So in HR department, there are some users, right? This is the HR department switch. So behind the switch, there are some computers, right? PC1, PC2, like that. Just leave it, okay? Here also we have another one, IT department. Here also we have some computers, PC1, PC2, PC3, like that. This network is 192.168.1.0/24 and this network is 192.168.2.0/24. Now if you want to connect these two networks, if you want to transfer data from HR department to IT department or IT department to HR department, these two switches should be connected to router. So here we have a router. Here we have one router, right? This is what is the model number? Model number is 1841. You can use any model number, that is not a matter. So it has some interfaces, right? Like F0 by 0, F0 by 1, F0 by 2 and one console port. Okay, and on off switch button. For example, this port is F0 by 0, F0 by 0. I am writing here, and this is F0 by 1, and this is F0 by 2, like that. So we will connect this switch to one interface. One means like here, fast Ethernet 0 by 0, and this switch I will connect it to F0 by 1, like this. And if these users wants to get internet access, so we need internet connectivity, right? So for internet connectivity, I will connect F0 by 2. F0 by 0 2, I will connect it to our ISP, for example, Airtel. See, right? So this is how to connect LANs to router. These are the router interfaces. So F0 by 0, F0 by 1, F0 by 2, these interfaces are connected to LAN and WAN. LAN and WAN. LAN means this is a LAN and WAN means this is the WAN. So here, just simply understand LAN interface and WAN interface. Same interface, but if we connect interface to switch internally LAN, that is called LAN interface. And if we connect the interface to ISP, means internet service provider, that is WAN interface. So here F0 by 2 is the WAN interface, F0 by 0 and F0 by 1 are LAN interfaces. You can consider like that. You can connect any interface to ISP. So whatever you connect interface to ISP, that interface is called WAN interface, wide area network interface. Simple, just normal word. WAN interfaces, WAN interface, LAN interfaces. And how to use this console port, how to log in into this router. For example, see, right here, if you want to communicate from HR department to LAN, IT department, what happened here? For example, see here, this is this user, right? If this user wants to send some data to this user, IT user, so first packet goes to switch to router, like this, and here to here, like this, and here these interfaces, this interface and this interface required IP address. This interface and this interface required IP address. By default, we don't have any IP address here. We need to configure the IP addresses here. Which IP address we need to configure here? Very simple. What is this network? 192.168.1.0/24. What is the range of this network? This network range is 1.1 to 1.254. Any IP address, any one IP address can be assigned to this interface F0 by 0. For example, mostly in the production, mostly in the real time, we will configure first IP address. Means 192.168.1.2, sorry, 1.1. First IP address. And remaining IPs, second IP is 192.168.1.2 and third computer 1.3, 1 like that. Same way here also in this department. For this department 192.168.2.0. So network is here 2.1. So IP address is 2.1 for F0 by 1. So every interface required IP address on the router. Remember this point. Very, very important. Interface F0 by 0 is 192.1.1. Interface F0 by 1 IP address is 192.1.2.1. Every interface on router is different network, not same network. Remember this point. Very, very important. We cannot configure same network. Like for example, 192.1.1 here and next another interface 192.1.1.2 or 1.3. We can't, because every interface is a different network here in the router. So in every network, first IP address is always configured to router interface. This IP address is a gateway. This IP address is what? Gateway. In the PC we have a gateway, right? So in the gateway we need to configure router IP address. So here 192.1.2 IP and mask 255.255.255.0 and gateway 192.168.1.1 like that. Same here also, gateway is IP is 192.168.2.2. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0 and gateway is 2.1. Gateway is nothing but entry and exit point of your network. So if this IT employees wants to reach the HR department, so these IT users can go via gateway. Gateway means router. Gateway means entry and exit point of your network. Remember for this point. So this is about router external components. Serial interface, no need to discuss about serial interfaces, because serial interfaces are outdated interfaces, and serial interfaces are used to connect WAN, only WAN. We can't use these interfaces to LAN. WAN means one office to another office, one branch to another office, another branch, or branch to branch, or head office to branch, or data center to branch. But nowadays we are not using these interfaces. Just leave it. And console interface, console port. Console port is management port, only for management purpose. That's it. If you want to manage router, we need to log in with the console only, just only for login purpose. That's it. How to log in, how to access router? Very simple. Okay, see here, this is the console, this is console, this is my laptop. So here okay, for laptop we have a some USB ports, right? USB 1, USB 2, like that, right? So from USB port to, you will connect router console port like this. This cable is console cable. This cable is what? Console cable, or rollover cable. Rollover cable. This is third cable. We already discussed about the cross cable, straight cable, right? But this is the another cable, console cable. Console cable only for management purpose. any device, switch, router, firewalls, for all the devices, we will manage through console only, just login purpose, right? After connecting this console cable, router USB, sorry, PC's USB port to router console port. Okay, right here in our PC we require one small tool, that is putty. Open the putty and you can log in into router. I will show you here in Cisco packet tracer. Okay, this is purpose of console. Console port is only for management. Remember this point. After completing your work, after completing your configuration, remove this connection. It is not permanent connection. Again, whenever you want to again log in into router, again connect. That's it. Okay, this is about router external components. The next thing is internal components. Internal components. What are the internal components? Internal components are nothing but like in our PC we have some interfaces, like some components, right, in our PC, in our desktop or in our laptop. Same here also, RAM, NVRAM, flash and ROM. RAM stores running configuration. RAM stores running configuration. Running configuration means, so present what is running on the device, so that configuration is stored in the RAM only. Remember this point. And the second one is NVRAM, non-volatile random access memory. Non-volatile random access memory. Non-volatile random access memory is, it is a permanent memory and it stores configuration permanently, like our hard disk. In our computer we have SSD hard disk, right? Same way in the router we have NVRAM. This NVRAM stores our configurations, means like IP addresses, like all the configurations, okay? Routing protocol configurations and VPN configurations, whatever we have configured, so that configuration will be stored in NVRAM permanently. The next one is flash memory. The flash memory purpose is it stores operating system. It stores operating system. In our computer, we install Windows, right? But where we install Windows? In C partition, right? We have a C partition, D partition, E partition, like that, right? So in C partition, we will install Windows OS. But in the router, we have separate memory for uh, iOS to iOS. That is flash memory. Last one is ROM. ROM is inbuilt program, okay, in motherboard. It is a small chip. It stores bootstrap program. Bootstrap program. So these are the memory types in router: RAM, NVRAM, flash memory, and ROM. RAM, NVRAM, flash, and ROM. And also we have CPU also. CPU purpose is same processing purpose only here also. And memory types, okay, RAM, NVRAM, flash, and ROM. These all are the memory types. Remember this point. Sometimes interviewer asks what are the memory types in router. Next point, what is iOS? iOS is what? iOS is the router OS, and the full form is Internetworking Operating System. Internetworking Operating System. Internetworking Operating System. So this Cisco iOS, this is also known as Cisco iOS. Like in our mobiles, we have different OS, right? If we have a OnePlus or if we have a Samsung mobile. So in these mobiles, we are using Android OS, and if you have an Apple mobile, we will use Apple iOS, right? Same way here also, this Cisco router has a Cisco iOS, but the Cisco iOS is the CLI based operating system. CLI, command line interface, not a graphical user interface. Command line interface means we will use commands to configure anything. Here we don't have option, graphical option. Okay, remember this point. Cisco iOS is CLI based operating system. So here we will configure everything, right? Whatever you want to configure on router, Okay, right? We will configure through commands only. We don't have a graphical option here. The next point is in routers we have different routers. In the routers we have different routers. Like we have normal Cisco routers and Cisco ISR routers, Cisco EASR routers, and Cisco CSR routers, like that. So we have different types of routers are there. So depends on our requirement, we will choose routers. ISR is one like type of router in the Cisco only. ASR and CSR and normal routers. ISR means like integrated service router, and ASR means like this like advanced some. Okay, that is a different name. And CSR means cloud service router. Cloud service routers. But in the production, mostly we will see ISR and ASR and CSR also. But normal purpose, normal purpose, we will Cisco routers only. Normal, like normal purpose. Okay, just only routing purpose. But if we want to routing and security, then we will go for Cisco ISR routers or ASR routers. So in our Cisco packet tracer, we can see this ISR router and ASR routers. And I will show you here. See here, this is a router here. See network devices, click on network devices, and here router side here. See in below line, right? Here click on router and see here we have different types of routers. 4321. This is a one router. 4321. This is the here it's showing clearly. One second. Here. When I click here, in below you can see here, right? See this is the ISR 4321. This is ISR 4321. And this is IR 8340, and this is normal IOS router. This is normal only. Okay, and this is 819 HG, like this. Okay, different models are there, and we don't have CSR router in Cisco packet tracer. Okay, so we have only Cisco ISR routers are there. 4331 and 4321. These are very advanced routers. Here we don't have Cisco ASR routers. One second, you will see. This is also normal router, and yeah, we don't have ASR routers. Okay, only we have Cisco ISR and the normal routers. These are the router types. Remember this point. In the production, we will have only ISR and Cisco ASR routers. Right. So in next session, we will discuss about how to connect router to this net to these two departments, and how to configure a router. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can send your queries on comment or in question and answer, okay, section. So okay, we will meet in next session.